Like the video. Thumb up the video. Like the video. Thumb up the video.
Hey, Sonetta, I got a question for you. Won't you tell me why it is that the world of academia, intellectual circles, respected scientists, reputable theologians, and world-renowned thinkers and philosophers, innovators, leaders in their field, people that are actually in the labs, on the ground, in the classrooms, figuring out ways to beat diseases, advance medicine and technology, etc., why do they not have anything like the House of Consciousness?
I have become greatest of the great. I have come into being among the beings who clear the vision of the soul and eye. I know why its greatest block is made for a what? A what? So we never disrespect me again.
Because God, when the flood took place, 40 days, 40 nights, he allowed so much as a pig. He put a spirit on the pig. He let the women eat their own babies. Why don't God put a spirit on the Israelites to stop them from eating their own children?
Kemet on trial, title of that damn lecture. Destroyed the Hebrews with the power of our ancestors. Our clans better didn't talk or debate, huh, Daniela? Or Zion Lex don't hate on Kemet, y'all fans betcha. And Sonetta bringing knowledge to the masses with the undisputed knowledge they don't teach in classes. Kemet, Black Power movement, do you understand? We on trial, Hebrews thought they had the upper hand. Polite killed them with that footage from the motherland. Hushar too much rah-rah, Nazi Elder Gabar. The young Yawasop, when is y'all gon' stop? We got tombs and mummies, y'all just got some rocks. Me and my squad illa, plus the Magi and the God Killer. Shout out to Hefshet Sut and the King Haru, the son of Amin-Ra, Asepata Asa. Now Valley's here, we came to bring it home. Kim is back to claim the throne.
Okay, so I need to tell people, please, wake up. They can't show me or show the bones of anybody in the Bible. They can't show me no Hebrew, if the Hebrews built the pyramids, where their pyramids before.
Amin-Ra squad up, Magi archers in the building, please believe. Oh shit. If you ain't Sonetta, no time for that interview, dog. I put my shit out for niggas, I don't send it to blogs. Clan kill off the Buddha, not being discreet. One puff, this big pops and projectiles. Between the sheets. Sun run, cold game, bring your cleats. The best flow blow, Eskimo, penguin feet. Don't need no blunt to burn. You run the turf with 10 niggas on the block. That's a punt return. Ayo, Dolomite prototype soldier with the solar light. Saber and he hold it like he hold a mic. Golden ice pendants. Sipping on that overpriced poltergeist spirits. Ripping at the open mic. Quote the nice lyrics like Mama move mean overnight. Golden motorbike holding on some Tron shit. That nice neon kit is on it. The king's libation with exotic liqueur. The queen's vibration like a Sada Shakur. A lot of decor, imported foreign threads, they ain't got at the store. Nubian Kush, black top pottery jaws, 39% THC, the quality pure. Old rappers try to spit, ain't hot as before. It's like I'm 5 flights above, bust the shots at the floor. Cats switch up they style when they ain't got it no more. Cause they gotta keep their product in stores to feed their kids. See what that weed did? Yeah, yes man agreeing on everything we said. I smell the mic like it's the love of my life. Don't get sliced and beat with the butt of the knife. Brother polite, I say I'm animalistic, cause I still be in the hood with my hand on my pistol. The Hebrews think I'm cannibalistic, E5 divination, channel the mystic, audio visionary. Let's play poetical Pictionary. Picture me burning down your missionary. Yeah, then I send you religion. That red dot on your head, that's Hindu tradition. invisible, independent, intrinsic shit. I'll bring it all to an end with indivisible gains. Charles Xavier, getting your brain. Mental anguish or manifesting physical pain. Wizard remains to dance in the chemical rain. Breathe slow, then I'm up out of this physical plane. Got military machinery that exercise, weaponized greenery. Shine at a jeopardize the scenery, son. Bruh, the beam 10 times your distance. Inclines convention. Stop rising with no trend line resistance. The parabolic breakout. I'm F-16 with the aeronautic fake out. God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer. That's who it is. The God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer. It's the God killer, the God killer, the God killer, the God killer.
Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. It's God Killer in the house. And I'm coming to do what I got to do. And I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Hey, Bobby banging this bitch. What's good, family? Man, did the people get up in the building, man? I see you, Juju, pseudo killer official. What's good? Man, we sitting back here, man. Did the people come in here? I see you, John, James Midas, Mike Jackson. What it do? I see you. Motion. What it do? Outside. What's good with you? Professor X is in the building. Tuck my yacht. What's going on? Regulus M. I see you. West African. YDNA. What it do? Isonic C. What's good with you? Man, sucker free. Yeah, we gotta stay sucker free. Shadow Band. What's going on? Mastermind Moore is in the building. Rock City, New York is in the building. Man, y'all coming in, man. Seg Breeze. I see you. Sister Sci-Fi. I see you, Lena. What's going on? And they all in the building. Man, El Sandman. What's good with you? Okay. Nice old crowd in here, man. Y'all know what it is. Time to have a little conversation. Sometimes we just we overstep our bounds. And I be like, damn, why we gotta do all that? You know? And we want to find a way to stop the foolery. How can we do it? There's always a lot of misinformation going around, and we need the bay to try to defeat the believing brain. Brain, your mind, the way it works, will believe anything, man, if put in the right circumstance, man. And YouTube is one of those mechanisms of technology that can put us in a position to be tricked. And so we need something. Regular Joe, what's up with you? Nahisi, it's a pseudo killer official right there. That's my man right there, man. I'm a raw squad, the whole 9 yards, man. Dedicated to attacking pseudo-wisdoms and making sure we got the right information. Shout out to you, Nahisi. Malcolm X Defense Warrior. Yeah. Yeah, man, the people coming in the building, but we need a first quick line of defense, man. And I think that's important. Most of us aren't writing or doing academic research. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all think y'all are, but y'all really not. So we want to have this slight conversation. I'm pretty sure the conversation is going to morph to everything else, right? But we want to have a conversation. What is it that the people can grasp onto real fast, right? When trying to figure out, we stay enthralled in some wild conversations around here. And I like to use two things. I like to use Encyclopedia Britannica. That's always a good one for me. All right. It cuts through the chase. And it's a good encyclopedia. I'm not sure how many of y'all have ever had an encyclopedia, right? But my mom brought me a set. So that was one of the things I like to do growing up was, read the encyclopedia. So, I was kind of taken back when people around me in this particular community, was talking wild about encyclopedias, whether it be Wikipedia or Encyclopedia Britannica. And so Wikipedia is like the next generation. All right. And, it's a good place for y'all to start in any conversation, whether you like it or not. But what I learned is that people are trying to stop you from catching them early in the game. They want to get you mesmerized, right? See, once they got you mesmerized, right, then you stuck and you trapped. Because the first thing they want to do, they want to use your blackness against you. What I mean by using your blackness against you, I just got to tell you how I felt, right? Early in the game, man, they make you, first of all, it's important to be black and proud. Like I said, I've been black and proud since 7, right? And that's definitely important. But that can turn on you real fast when you overemphasize your blackness, right? That's when you're in trouble. And so these new online communities, these new online cults, because now they online cults, right? They don't need a building. All they need is your attention, and they put out wild products and you spend your money on it, right? And that's all they need. And the first line of defense should be an encyclopedia, whether that encyclopedia be Britannica or whether that encyclopedia be Wikipedia. That should be your first line of defense. Why? Because it's put in plain language for the general public to understand. So why would anybody fight over something in basic language? Why would you be fighting about that? Why would you push back against that? Well, we can't trust this and we can't trust that. Wikipedia mistake. So the stance that everybody's taking on Wikipedia now was something that happened 10, 12 years ago, right? Let me show you. When they was fighting, worrying about the editing process and all that. So we want to use a source. We want to use the University of, let's use the University of Kansas real quick. All right. And they wrote an article. Be credible. Can Wikipedia be credible? All right. Now, most universities, right, you're not going to be able to source that. You're not going to be able to source Wikipedia, but you shouldn't, because when you're in college and universities, you're trying to be, be the level, right? And so you would need to get that like some deep source material, right, to fit your ideas. That's important in research. But when you're just a general public, like you want to look up, was John Hanson the first black president? So you'll go to Wikipedia, right? You'll see that he wasn't. So you didn't stop a whole lot of foolery right there. Think about it, right? It'll talk about the Continental Congress, right? Then you'll figure, well, what's the Continental Congress, right? And that predates the presidency in the United States. Wasn't even a president yet. John Hanson couldn't have been a president before the presidents, right? Let's see. So did the people, just get in a little bit. That was one of the first mistakes that was made. I know y'all remember that. Let me see. Ah, man, hold on. Let me see. Let me see if we can put up John Hanson. Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can put up John Hanson. Then I want to direct y'all. Oh, that's the. Ah, man. Okay, hold on. All right, so you got two John Hansons here, right? Let me show you the one that people, I don't even feel like saying their name. I'm gonna give them a. We're gonna use 2 Wikipedia articles here, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And we're gonna get this is gonna be fun. All right. And like that whole Native American conversation that's going on, man. Shout out to the brothers that's putting that together right now, man. I think it's a real healthy discussion, man. I see Rob Bourne doing this thing. Hold on real quick. I see they got Con Calloway and they hairs. NAC is in the building in their face all day long, man. So make sure y'all subscribe to that channel right there, man. They on top, they on their heads, man. So okay, let's real quick watch this. So let's get to the Wikipedia article. Then we're gonna get into the University of Kansas. So all right, let me share my screen right here, and I'm gonna drop the link early because I want to foster a healthy relationship around, research. Like, what should we trust, right? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of conversations we have and a lot of bickering going on, and because we don't know how to get to the damn truth. All right, you get people dissing Google, and you Googling. You got people dissing you because they ask you a question. You say, "Well, I don't know. Let's look it up." Oh, you got to look it up, right? Just because I don't know evolutionary, a question you might ask me about evolution or cells or bacteria. Just because I don't know it doesn't mean the field doesn't know it. So if you count on me to know everything is ridiculous. If you counting on one expert to know everything, that's ridiculous. Lord knows I'm just part of the general public. I just so happen to have a voice. And if you think I know everything, that's wild. Y'all should be thankful, right? To have people to say when you ask them something, I don't know. Yeah, I can remember you asked Malachi York, shit, this nigga act like he knew every damn thing. Come to find out, it was crazy. It was slap crazy. Right, ridiculous. So we all got tricked with this. Remember this? John Hanson. And some people in the chat right now still think that John Hanson was the first black president. There you go. John Hanson. All right. That's 1721. All right. Is an American founding father, merchant, politician of Maryland during the Revolutionary era. All right. I see John Hanson was elected the delegate of the what, y'all? The Continental Congress. After serving, a variety of roles for the Patriot cause in Maryland. All right. That's John Hanson. That's not John Hanson. He didn't know. This is the Continental. What's the Continental Congress? The Continental Congress was a series of legislative bodies, okay, with some executive function for the 13 colonies of Great Britain in North America, and newly declared United States before and during and after the American Revolutionary War. All right. But having Wikipedia at your disposal or using it, you wouldn't have got tricked. This is the picture they use right here. John Hanson. Y'all remember it? This is what they use as being the first. Let's look at the dates. 1856. All right. This 1856. Look, this word daguerreotype. That's a type of photography, y'all. This is the clue right here. This is the clue that somebody's lying to us. Now, when we go back to here, all right, look at the dates. 1783, right? 1779. All right. Look at the picture. Okay. Why are they showing you this, Senator, right here, with this type of photo? This type of photo doesn't occur until after this time period, right? Here, 1770. There is no such thing as dial type photo. That's your first clue that they lying to you. And you find it in the textbook where they didn't teach you in school or something, where they didn't teach you in history, something wild like that. So whenever you hear that word, that's a word, that's a cue for y'all. What they didn't teach us in school, you know they lying. That's your first cue. You say, what are you talking about? What do you mean what I'm talking about? I'm saying it's things that they shouldn't teach you in high school because the things that we're talking about is subject matter that you could potentially run across in college. Some of the subjects, specifically the subjects that I'm talking about, you'll run into them when you're running to get your master's degree and your doctor's degree. But you can surely find them in college libraries and college websites, right? And databases that's dedicated to the high levels. But in high school, they got a certain curriculum they're going to teach. Anything more than that, then your mother and father should have gave it to you. And they shouldn't have gave you this. If they was giving you this, they was pseudorized. If they gave you this guy right here and said he was the first black president, right? They was fooling you. He wasn't none of that, right? He was a senator, was an African-American politician in Liberia. He served the colonial council and senator of Grand Bassa County. That's who that guy is. Why did they lie to us like this, man? The Wikipedia, quick access, wow, can get you right to it. Can stop the lie in its tracks. Like I said, I'm going to drop the link early and often in the game. I know ain't nobody going to jump up here and start hounding about Columbus Hill. What's good, man? John Jones. Can I Wikipedia see what? What? Can I wiki to see if the aliens are real? Yeah, yep. And type it in. Let's see what it say. Yep. Rasul L. What's good, man? Hit me up. Samuel, what's good? So why am I suggesting Wikipedia? Because, man, most of us aren't, we acting like we gonna be top level professor, with, you know what I'm saying, level professor and gonna be able to, man, well, by the time you get to the journals, man, you know, that's a hard read. And then I gave a class on how to read a journal. You gotta have a class on how to read a daggone journal. And you got to keep your dictionary with your scientific dictionaries and all that to get the proper terminology. We can definitely do it, right? But you know, those journals aren't even really written for the general public. So when we deal with the journals, we just go ahead and deal with the summary, right? The conclusion, the abstract. You know what I'm saying? Give you a basic synopsis of what the hell the article was talking about. And then some articles they make easy to read. I know during the COVID, they was making these articles like JAMA, JAMA, JAMA. Believe that's it. Great journal, well written, right? New England Journal of Medicine. All right, they pretty good reads, but their Journal of Science and Journal of Nature and Journal of Science and Journal of Nature, they harder reads, right? And especially in the data section. The data section is where scientists will look to try to reproduce the studies. It's hard, right? But man, don't never let them make you afraid of dealing with an encyclopedia. All right. Whether that's Wikipedia or Britannica. Don't let them do it because there's somebody trying to cheat. Yeah, they definitely trying to cheat you. I ain't gonna be able to drop the link. I'm going to do this. Damn. Man. So, you know, my point is very clear here, man. They be playing games. And I mean, I don't know why they want to play the games, but they play games. And I think they do that on purpose. All right. And they do anything to try to let's see, slow the process down of education, because that's what we're actually doing, man. We're educating with a little bit of flavor over here. All right. You gotta throw some flavor in it, else y'all not trying to hear it. All right. Sometimes it get a little wild. I'm dropping the link early. Where you at, Juju? All right, y'all jump on. I'm gonna drop the link in the service. Anybody want to get on? Man, we just gonna have a good conversation just around general knowledge. Any topic is up. Anything y'all want to talk about? Aliens, spaceships, cosmos, religion, and anything y'all think y'all want to stump me on, challenge me on, man. Let's go ahead and get it. Yeah, let's get it. That's how I'm feeling tonight. Feeling good tonight. Feeling real crispy. Getting ready for the high level conversation. It's gonna be good. I'm ready. All right. I'm not gonna overtrain. Not even a little bit. But I'm be silent in my approach to diffuse the complete foolery. Definitely gonna be silent. All right. And that debate is gonna be good because now we need to figure out some things here. People be talking, right? And we need to really figure out some things. G Khan, I see you, man. What's going on with you, brother? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing, boss?
You know me, man. I'm still trying to tell you. Get past your black Egyptian thing yet, or you still where you at?
Say that, yeah.
How you feeling?
Oh, good. Hey,
Yeah, what I say?
and that name you call, you said Basi, it's really pronounced Basa. It's
Basa. Okay.
Yeah. Joel MB, he's a Basa from Cameroon.
Okay.
But that I got my mom sister, she a Basa from Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, when oh, go ahead. You dropping you about to do something right now?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead. Let me do this real fast. What I like to do is I like to put up the thing because y'all know what's going on, man. I want to hopefully y'all get in there, get some tickets, man. Get the tickets rolling, man. Where the hell did he do that going? Man, he be more touching this. Damn, why he do that? Boy, it's something to get back here with the quickie fingers, the fingers, and be messing up stuff. Damn. Yeah, so 15th, man. That's about 30 days away. All right. 7 o'clock. $30, man. Man, don't miss this one. Don't miss this. Right? You know, we hear them words thrown around. African spirituality versus science and this, that, and the other. Shikanti Diops. True cradle theory. We hear all this thrown around, right? You know, if you say something about Diops, all of a sudden, you know what I mean, you're going against the elders. No matter what he said, you're going against. We hear a lot of talk. Right? People telling us that we can change our whole way of being if we just practice African spirituality. We got elders talking about we've been the prominent scientists in America and it hasn't changed the conditions of America. Yeah, that's James Smalls running his mouth. And that's my man. But we all grown around here. Right? So sometimes you got to stand all the way up or get ran over. Right? So don't misconstrue standing up for yourself and standing up for the next generation as being disrespectful. Disrespectful is allowing anything to go on your watch. That's being disrespectful. Not standing on the shoulders of your elders is being disrespectful. Standing beside them is disrespectful. Meaning everything they said, no matter how it flies in the face of established wisdom of that time, and you amening them is disrespectful. And I'm a show and prove. September 15th. $30. Welcome to the big leagues. I know what it is. I hear you. What's up?
Yeah. So when I was at James I was going to DeVry. What year was that? That was in 2000.
Okay.
And I had one of my teacher was bringing up the same Hanson, John Hanson. Is it John Hanson? I think it's
John
John.
Hanson.
Yeah, a white guy now,
Mm-hmm.
and he was bringing that same pseudo in the classroom at that time.
In the classroom?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah. I didn't. I can remember. I didn't really even believe him, but you know what I'm saying. But what he brought up to us, a lot of the guys in there did believe him. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. It was because I was like, how it didn't make no sense to me, but he made it make sense in his little world because a lot of them was you know, was soaking that up. You know, he brought that to DeVry. You know, I don't know if he's still teaching that. Yeah, I don't know if he's still teaching that. But yeah, that's what yeah. But yeah, it's interesting.
Interesting ain't interesting. It's stupid. It is about that like that, man. And they get us about that like that, man. And they talk that talk and they talk that pseudo talk, yo, and they got us.
But that was a white man saying that.
I don't care what white people's the first original pseudos. What are we talking about? Man,
Yeah.
listen, 99.99% of the pseudoisms actually occur from white people, yo, that we teach in the conscious community. And so that's why it's funny to me. Well, we got an official one on tonight. I see you, Nahisi. How you doing, brother? I know you probably sent back. Listen, appreciate you diving in there, man. All day. I see you, super wavy. How you doing, brother?
OG, what's good?
Got Cam. I forgot everybody got Cam up too. What's good? What's going on with you, super wavy? How
I
you
got
doing,
a question
brother?
for you.
Yeah, cam it up. Hit that cam. Hit that cam. Everybody hit the cam. Hit the cam. Where you at, G? Lacan?
I got a question for you, OG.
Come on, Gullah. What's up? Talk to me.
Did Sekou live in Africa?
Man from the bounce off with me.
You say Sekou live in? No, he live in Canada.
Come on, Gullah. What's up? Talk to me.
How you doing in the Hisi? You good? I know you might be working somewhere in the Hisi. All right, that's the question, Super Wavy.
My whole thing is, how you gonna be 10 toes down with Africa and you not stand there? You got pushback for African Americans, and that's the stigma when they come over here. You feel me? They put it on them to treat us a certain type of way, and vice versa. But what I'm saying is, you ain't even in Africa.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if that's the rule or not. That you gotta be in Africa to talk.
Why? Hey, why you gotta be in Africa though?
But
if you stump down into African spirituality, you supposed to be where the origin is. You ain't supposed to be in Canada. Or where you say where you at?
I don't get. Yeah, I don't understand that shit. you got to be in Africa for that, huh?
Yeah, that's funny. I mean, everybody got their opinion on that, man. What's going on, brother Nahisi? How you doing, man? Oh, he probably can't talk. He probably busy. The homie Stephen Mika, I see you. Gideon Block, Mac Rob.
Oh, I'm doing fine, bro.
All right, man. Good
Can you hear me?
Man. I can hear you loud and crispy.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, bro. You probably can't hear me. We hear you.
Oh, I'm doing fine, bro.
We can hear you, yo. What's up with you? You got that? You must got that track phone.
Got to put that stop sign up, OG. We can't let them say nothing about Africa.
Well, what I will tell you is, man, I'm not gonna fight I'm saying you can talk about Africa and you can be from Africa, come abroad, trying to get education, right? And wanting to hold on. This is the stop sign for me. You cannot come to America and promote pseudoisms to the black community. That's what I'm saying. Right? I ain't tripping if you go to some other community, right? We already understand what you talking about. Like we read all the books, right? We clearly read all the books. We know what's in the books, man. We scientifically literate, yo. We fighting for high level of standard, yo. We can't let you drop us back down the rabbit hole again, right? Yeah, and if it's something that you need and something that you want, yo, just come out and say it. Don't play with us. Like we prolific in what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Like we man, come on, yo, we know what the true cradle theory is and what it's not. You know what I'm saying? We know about evolution, right? We know about the Negro hypothesis. Man, we read the works, man. You know what I'm saying? We go to the museum and see them and see them in the Met, right? So my fight is don't come fake me out. Don't come fake the people out. That's my deal, right? And then don't try to do it in a manner where you start to turn people against reason. That's what I'm talking about. That's my issue. Don't do it. Don't fake. You shouldn't have to fake us out. You know what I mean? Like we fought heroic to be able to get to this place right here where we can have platforms and put out good quality information, bro. Like our ancestors couldn't even go to the damn library. They had to steal books out the damn library. Check out the movie Hidden Figures. He had to steal a damn book out the library because the colored section didn't have no damn books worth anything. We fought through that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, if Sekou had good quality information, that's different, man. But to come over here and tell us to practice African spirituality, why not practice African American goddamn spirituality? That's my point. Shit, the Christianity we practice is totally different. Look real different to me. Sure, like black Jesus is definitely black these days in African American Christianity with the bush. Jesus got the bush now. You know what I'm saying? Our grandmother and them might have had the white Jesus. We got the Jesus Christ with the bush. You know what I'm saying? We do a whole lot of different things. So look, man, I'm proud. I'm black and I'm proud. And I don't care if you was from Russia. You came over here, right? And you had good quality information. I'm going to support that. What I don't support is this whole trying to promote religion that ain't even a such thing as what he trying to promote. First of all, no such thing. And then try to make it seem like that if you are atheist or if you don't believe, then all of a sudden you're not African. Well, last time I checked, I'm not African because you say I'm African. You know what I'm saying? I'm African because Africa was born in me. You know what I'm saying? My most ancient ancestors come from Africa. My primary ancestors come from right here, right? And I understand all of that back, right, to 13.5 billion years. That's how serious we is. So we tell our story coming from 13.5 billion years. We can talk about the molecules and the atoms that came from distant stars, okay? To forge who we are. We can have all those conversations. Simple as that. So we not playing. What's going on, brother? What's on your mind?
What's up? I didn't know you were gonna get me on this early. I'm driving. I just wanted to say one quick thing, just bring it to everybody's attention.
What up?
Man, I do DoorDash on the side after I get out of work and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm just driving around, brother. And everywhere I'm going is Indian restaurants, Mexican restaurants, Asian restaurants, Italian restaurants. I ain't went to not one black restaurant yet, man. And every one of these restaurants I go into, they just look at me and say they racist. Say they don't like black people. How did we get to this point, brother? And I'm gonna hop off and listen. But I just want to hear your opinion on it because I respect your word, brother.
Yeah, first of all, I had a sub shop before. This shit is hard. So the restaurant business ain't a real good business to be in. Right? It's extra hard and most people that do it fail. So you know, I'm in Atlanta. You got a lot of black-owned restaurants. You do. So I guess depending on where you at, and you know, if it's gotta be your passion, cooking gotta be your passion. And so I don't know. You can search.
Where he say
I've
he
never
at?
been
Where
to a
he at?
city, huh?
Where
He
is
was
he
wondering
at?
why he's door dashing. He's wondering why it's not a lot of black restaurants. I mean,
What
you know,
city in?
he didn't even say. All
Oh.
right. Yeah. So
Hey,
yeah,
OG,
hit that link. We got people talking crack trash. Look,
hey, OG.
is the destruction of black civilization by Chancellor William Pseudo. No, not at all. So I think I explained this before, y'all. Shit, that's my favorite book. Matter of fact, shit, I done ran through copies. Yeah, this is my favorite work. So when I'm always talking about museums, I got it for him. And when I started talking about European history, I got it for him because he said, don't even go to Africa first. He said, go to Europe because you go to these museums. In France, the British Museum, and storehouses of artifacts coming from Africa in the millions, right? So you have millions of artifacts in these museums before you even go to Africa, right? And Chancellor talks about that, all right? John Henry Clark talks about, learn European history first, right? So there's great examples in European history. Some kind of way, all that got lost. So no, Chancellor Williams is not a pseudo book, right? But there are things in the book that are outdated, and that's okay. Just like Diop's work, and people get mad when you say it, but when Diop's published his work, whether it's 1956, Reverend Reggie says 1956. I know he had a copy that he published in 1974. This is during the Cairo Symposium. So we can come, right. Lauren Hill copyrighted 1974. Hold on, that's Myth is in 1974 probably would have been an English edition. I'm not sure, but it's a first published by Presence Africa Paris, 1967. All right. Reggie say 1956. All right. But what I will say is then in 1967 and 1974, the terminology that he was using was already dated, right? And that's okay though. All right. You got to start somewhere. So I would never call this work pseudo, nor would I ever call Chancellor Williams' work pseudo. It's the misuse of it that's really pseudo, right? It's to keep using it, okay? Like they came before Columbus. If you keep using that, right, you are pseudorizing a anthropologist, okay, word, Ivan Van Sertima, right? You doing that because Ivan Van Sertima was an anthropologist, and any anthropologist is going to be an anthropologist, meaning you're not going to keep saying the same thing once it has been overturned or once more information has been found out on the subject. So it's really us that's actually pseudorizing those elders, right? So like Diops was a scientist, and you expect scientists to make mistakes, and you expect scientists to get critiqued, and we're not up for correction. That's the issue. Say cool, not up for correction. Nobody's up for correction. No one's willing to say that just because you don't believe in God, that doesn't stop you from being African. That doesn't stop you from loving Black culture or loving Africans in the diaspora. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the bullshit game. He's going to try to bring that. He's going to bring that wild narrative. And I bet you, I done sent more African Americans to Africa than most of y'all listening to the show. Right? I didn't practice former African religion, whether it was in America or not, with the whole sacrifices. Most of y'all not even going to touch that. Right? Most of the new coats didn't doing none of that, but holler out Africa. So yeah, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see you, Harold Brown. What's good, man? I'm Jan. What's up with you? I'm in the A, man. Absolutely, man. Yeah.
Hey,
So I don't call none of the great works by Diops and them, Chancellor Williams and them, Leo Hansberry. I don't call that's not pseudo, right? But everything has a date on it, right? And think 1967, yo, the damn human genome wasn't mapped out. So what are you expecting? You read this. In the 1910, look, Origin and Evolution of the Human Race, all right, by Albert Churchbud. His brother, the Pongion, right, talked about the land of Mu. So you even I gravitated to Albert. Most of y'all gravitated to the dude that started the land of Mu. That's Ali Muhammad and everybody's trying to be Indians. So, it is what it is, man. And, I really can't, I can only do but so much, right? And my words, they mistakenly say what I didn't say and misunderstand what I did say. I can't win for losing. Shout out to the community of skeptics, man. Real black atheism is on the rise, man. People figure that if you don't believe that you lose your Africanness. As if they had a polling system in Africa that took a poll on how many people believed or didn't believe the priest, no matter how thoroughly entrenched it was. So if you got people in Africa now that don't believe, you're going to have people in Africa that always didn't believe. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Everybody not going for it. Now, you might not have the voice like we got now, but trust and believe you had people who was questioning that stuff, who didn't believe in the gods, who don't believe in the spells, who don't think that sacrificing an animal could change the trajectory of their history. There are people that think that, and there are people that think that, yes, by doing the sacrifices and doing the sacraments and doing all this and saying the words and reading the sacred scripture, that it will change your life some kind of way. There's more people believe that than don't. But just because more people believe that than don't, does that mean it's a viable solution for the African American, quote unquote, Black American? Does it mean that? It could, but does it? We're going to find that out in the debate.
Hey, OG,
I'm here.
Have you came to the point coming into this debate that he is saying that African, whatever spirituality is over any other spirituality ever created, to whatever that is? You understand that he putting that on the pedestal?
Yeah, it's the greatest of all time. Everybody think they thing's the greatest of all time, though. I'm gonna tell you, that's a good one, yo. Mm-hmm.
That's religion again. That's just like religion. We got the final say so. Come on now.
Yeah, say cool, promoting say cool, yo. He promoting say cool. We're gonna see. And I mean, he gonna be measuring what he say, right? That environment gonna be tough, though. I'm ready for it. I want to be able to explain everything. I want to be able to, let people know, man, that I've been fighting for Africa before I realized that the real fight was in America. So that's, it just takes a certain level of sophistication to realize that, you come out of Baltimore, okay, you gravitate towards blackness and you gravitate towards Africa. That's the motherland, right? But at a certain point, you got to throw your hat in the ring in America. You got, straight out to Baltimore, Maryland, man. All right. At a certain point, man, you gotta actually realize that if you ain't right, then your family ain't right. And if your family ain't right, then your community ain't right. If your community ain't right, then your politics in your community not gonna be right. And if the politics in the community not right, then going abroad, you're gonna bring the same bullshit abroad. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. Speak.
I'm listening. Go ahead. G.
Are you the type? Are you the marching type when something happening to your community?
I didn't think I was. My damn kids. Yes, I didn't think I wasn't. I wasn't the marching type to my kids. Like, let's go, nigga. During the corona when they was marching. Yeah, I was a march. Yeah, so now, yes, I marched with my kids. Yeah, Kyle was there, had my back. He had the Kyle, man, he a serious dude, man. He had the guns. I'm just gonna be honest. He did.
Okay, so
And he had the route planned out in case something broke out. This man had all that right. He had me stationed in a nice spot. My kids like, the hell with that. We going in. So we dove into the crowd. So I got to feel we dive into the crowd. But yeah, I'm the marching type. Go ahead. What's wrong with that?
no. I'm just trying to understand you. So, were you march for something like a George Floyd type in your community?
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah. Remember, everybody was out. Remember that? Remember the whole world marched for George Floyd, yo.
Were you one of those whole world?
Yeah, nigga, I wasn't gonna do it in the middle of a pandemic. My kids were like, you tripping? You got to go there. What I'm gonna tell the kids? They young lions. I had to go. Yeah. Yes.
Real talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And it worked, didn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Beneficial, right? So it's the change that comes after the march was important, y'all. So the march brings attention to the thing. But now the march don't change the problem. Doesn't fix the problem of the thing. There's legislation. There's certain politics that has to be pushed forward. There's certain bills that have to be put in place. Just like Breonna Taylor, right? There's some laws that got passed based off of that. All right. And yeah. So yes, marching works, but not by itself. There has to be changing of laws. You have to fight for that, man, so things don't occur the way it occurred. That's why Martin Luther King was so effective, because behind a marching, they had things that's in place that we still taking advantage of. So when you get certain legislative passed and pushed in, right, you know now you can hold them accountable. It's hard to hold people accountable for something that's not there. What's up, Gullah?
Yeah, you got to march your ass up there and vote. For real, that's how stuff really get moved. Yeah, because a lot of people say they have march and all this and that, but they don't even vote. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What's good? I'm going live later on tonight too at 11. I'm letting everybody know that Algie He's podcast. I'm going in on Diop and the mistakes he made on the Wolof language connected to Egypt.
See me tripping. Hit the cam, man. Y'all can't keep not camming up, man. Y'all gonna make y'all. I hear you. Got algae here, yo. What time? 11.
So Gullah. So what African language you speak?
Who? Me?
You go.
So what?
Mr. Gullah. Yeah, I'm asking.
I speak African American nigga.
I speak African American vernacular Creole dialect. Gullah. I speak Gullah.
So you don't speak anything on the you don't speak anything on the continent?
No, not fluently. You know what I'm saying? I study languages from a linguistic perspective, but I don't know the actual language.
Okay, so my question to you is, right, playing devil advocate. So how you gonna go against Diop about the wall of language connected?
Because I study well pronounced languages, and I study history.
You study what?
Migration patterns. I study migration patterns, and I study language. I know about language families. I study anthropology. Anthropology and linguistics, you don't necessarily have to actually know the language. You can just study the formation and the grammar of the language and the connections that it makes to culture migration. A lot of stuff that he says is contradicted. Actually, the source that I'm reading is from another languages, more profound languages, and he's doing his criticism on Diop. It ain't me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Russell School. You know what I'm saying? But I studied the discipline.
Whoa.
I know the language. I know what language family, what branch go to which. You know.
Whoa. Hey, G, are you serious?
Say who?
You don't got to be a linguist to know somebody. You don't got to be a linguist at all. You can just know what's in the established field at the time.
Well, the only reason I say that because we had Morpheus yesterday. Because you know it's a good bet. It's going to be on Sunday. Zion going against the Hebrew dude or whatever. And brother Morpheus was saying, how can he go against somebody like Zion who understand the Hebrew language in and out? He said he's not qualified to even talk to Zion on that level, because this is a person who not only speak the language, but also teaches Hebrew
Who?
language. Zion. That's what Morphe was saying. He said it won't even be close because I guess it was on the great situation. Tomorrow they're going Zion versus the Hebrew guy. I don't know his name.
Hebrew is a clerical language right now. It's not even really a spoken language right now. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, so that's the reason why I was just using Brother Morpheus as an example of, just asking Gullah. I'll tune in and see what you're saying around 11. But I was just trying to go off other teachers and he made sense to me. Morpheus did make sense. That's why
you don't gotta speak no damn Hebrew debate to beat up a Hebrew. That's bananas, yo. Come on, yo. Why would you have to? Well, we're not arguing scripture. we arguing
now
the religion.
We arguing over the word great.
Gotta speak no damn. Stop it.
No. They arguing over the word great.
Yeah. I bet you none of them can speak Aramaic fluently. That's the closest language to Hebrew is Aramaic.
Yeah, that's the trade language.
Yeah.
The trade language. Everybody spoke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it to be very interesting, me personally. But yeah, so hold on, let me put this in here. Keep drop these links, man. All right. Hey man, look, make sure y'all level up for that damn debate too. It's going down, man. So I don't know about speaking Hebrew. I don't know about all that. Gila Khan, I don't know about all that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you don't gotta speak Hebrew to know that this shit ain't older than some African nations.
But here's the thing though.
Why would I have to speak Hebrew for that?
Yeah, you can look at the methods. You can look at the methods of how the language is put together and understand what goes.
Okay, so those other scholars who was when Diop was brought that idea at the conference. Why they didn't stomp him out on that?
They did.
Did you not read? Y'all gonna cam up. Why y'all keep uncamming yourself, man?
Well, I'm at work. I can't. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, you got the pass. We don't want to know where you working at.
Yeah, they did.
Wow. What?
They did.
What?
They did have objections to his theories of language. They did.
So he didn't read it. He didn't read it though. He don't even know the black hypothesis. Hey, G Con. G Con.
Yes, sir.
What's the black hypothesis? See, once you know that, then you'll know the answer to your own question.
Nah, I don't know it.
For real?
Nah, I heard you talking about, but I was at work at that time.
Do you realize how hard? Wait a minute, yo.
Yeah, I heard you talking about what was that a couple days ago. I ain't gonna lie. Why are you talking about that?
Listen. So this is the problem I'm finding out. Hey, Gullah, look, this is what we going through right now. Listen. Everybody I ran across, one ain't even read Diop's book. They're like, I ain't read it. I'll be like, well, god damn, yo, you got to at least read or listen to the audio book or look at the crib notes or something, yo, before you start beating me up talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. This person won. That's crazy to me. So, G-Con, if you don't know what the black hypothesis is, you don't even understand the comment. It's wild. Yeah. So here's the black hypothesis, yo. It's simple. That the Negroids, right, started the Egyptian civilization. So it was Negroid from the beginning to the Persian period. Yo, the Negroid race was the start of Kemet, and it was unmixed until the Persian period. Do you believe that, yo?
Yeah, and then Diop wasn't even.
Hold on, Gullah. Do you believe that, G?
You said it was unmixed,
right?
It was just
homogenous, nigga.
Yeah,
basically unchanged, homogenous
until the Persian.
Yeah, are you agreeing with? First of all, you agreeing that they Negroes?
Here's the thing, though.
Oh no, it ain't no thing. It's right there.
Yeah, I don't understand.
For you. Don't be too intelligent. Be
no,
right
because
there.
they had a name. Like
no, they didn't. They called them Negroids. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Diops.
Okay, now I don't believe there was a tribe called Negroes, and
no, was they Negroes?
Negroes compared to who?
Compared to nobody. Is it a race of people called Negroes?
That's why there's no race of people called white, and of course there's no race of people called Negroes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then,
Okay.
So then you already know what happened to him.
So hey, hold on. So my question to you is,
hold on. Why is it a question? At this point, we got to go slow. So you answer the question. What do you think happened at a scientific conference?
Okay, so they beat that up, right?
It's following Charles Darwin. So they following Charles Darwin, bro.
But those other scholar brought up that Egyptian was a white sibling.
No, they told them get out. They ain't even listen to them. They threw them out early in the game.
Yeah, they said they wrong too.
Make it. They ain't even get in. They was like, nah, y'all retarded. Bye.
You talking about Minoff? You talking about Minoff and the boys?
Yeah, they was done. They was like, no, that's out of hand. We ain't even listen to that shit.
They
was like, Diaz, you're a little interesting
shit.
here. I hear you using Negroid thing, but you coming in the whole. Let me see.
Yeah, and then Diop and Banga, they had like they kind of took a Hawaii type of stance when they said it's two type of Negro. They said one with smooth hair, one with crinkly hair.
Yeah. They was doing. They was in there.
Well,
like,
hold
okay,
on.
nigga.
Now, but hold on. So I guess they were using at that time modern day terminology.
Okay, let's see. Well, we can look it up. Hold on.
Right?
You going G? Hey G. Look, watch it. We need a quick look. This is what they don't want you to do. Look. Let's see. Hold on. Watch this. They don't want you to do this. Look. We're gonna share the screen. So you said something that was important, right? You said you guessed that they was using modern thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. We can look it up. There you go. You see the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Negroid is an obsolete racial grouping of various people indigenous to Africa south of the area, which stretches from southern Sahara Desert in the west to the African Great Lakes in the southeast, but also isolated parts of South and Southeast Asia, in quotations, Negrito. All right? This is shit everybody before. Oh, they the black, yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's scroll down to here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
You're gonna always find Charles Darwin name in the mix of anything we dealing with people. Anthropology, evolution, you're gonna always be in there. I don't want to read that. That strikes some people. Y'all be mad whenever I mention his name. But that's what top-notch people do. They go to the source of the publication. So, right, can you see it?
Yeah.
It says Shigant Diop's Negroid Primacy. Afrocentric author Shigant Diop's contrasted Negroid with Cro-Magnon in his publication arguing that Negro primacy is a Grimaldi man. You'll hear, the elders talk about Grimaldi man. An Upper Paleolithic fossil found in Italy in 1901 had been classified as Negroid by Boyle and Vassi in 1921. It says the identification was obsolete by the 1960s. Okay, remember Diaz wrote this shit in 1967. It was obsolete 1960s, but was controversially revived by Diaz in his work, The African Origin of Civilization, in 1976, and published in 1989. So to the answer to your question, it was outdated when he did it. That's the answer to your question.
Yeah, and a lot of people too gotta stop saying that Diop was going against a bunch of white people. It was other Africans.
He wasn't. No, he definitely wasn't. No, he wasn't going. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you know that's a narrative that they try to put out. He was going against the white boys, and no, it was other Africans going against him too that disagree with.
I get it now because it wasn't. What's happening is a lot of conscious community websites is actually putting out that misinformation, y'all. Yep, we realize it. So here you go. Let's verify what Gullah just said. All right. So did you get that, Joe Gila Khan? Did you get that?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, I heard it.
So now you hear me, or do you understand? Am I tripping? Am I doing too much? Am I adding some shit to it? What I'm doing?
Nah, you ain't adding to it.
All right. You see the screen?
Yep.
This is it. This is general history of Africa right here. All right. Here you go. In 1964, UNESCO launched an elaboration of general history of Africa, GHA, with the view to remedy the general ignorance of African history. So they on outside at this point. It says the challenge consisted of reconstructing African history, freeing it from racial prejudice ensuing from slave trade and colonization, and promoting an African perspective. See? So UNESCO felt like Africans should have agency over their damn story. But they talking about qualified. They ain't saying any nobody stand up because you black, right? Or if you in the conscious community, you should be able to teach black history. No, they talking about qualified people here. Watch this. UNESCO therefore called upon the utmost African and non-African experts. See, they want to use experts, African and non-African. It say these experts work represents 35 years of collaboration between more than 230 historians and other specialists and was overseen by an international scientific community, which comprised 2/3 of Africans. Okay. So 2/3 of the committee was African. So, yeah, I think that's important. That should answer the other part to your question. Right or wrong, G?
Yeah.
So-
He went against also people who look like him, with this yeah, okay, so
Yeah, so okay, this is what I figured out. And I ain't never heard nobody say this shit super wavy before. All you gotta do is start looking, type in True Creative Theory or type in the Cairo Symposium. You see a whole bunch of whack websites pop up, right? You know what I'm saying? And when I say whack, I mean you're not even caring about the scientific data. You're not really caring about Diop's work, right? You just want to talk about somebody won, right? When the conference was allowed them to be able to tell a daggone,
Yeah, they peace. Yeah.
get their piece in the ring, yo. And the beauty of the thing is, out of that, they reach a general conclusion. So what's the conclusion they reach? Look, G-Con, and I never understand this though.
it wasn't black or white.
It wasn't a black race.
It was a whole lot of
nobody.
it was a whole lot of combination of ideas. Diaz wasn't the only ones that was wrong. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers that was wrong. They had different ideas, different concepts, and different scenarios that they thought you know what I'm saying, what was going on.
But here's the thing.
You gotta be G Lacana, it's free. It's free on Google. Look up people of Egypt and deciphering the Meroic. They got the whole argument discussion in that text. It's printed by UNESCO. It's the whole UNESCO symposium argument debate is in that form. It's like 147 pages.
Yeah, we read it online. We did. The people act like we didn't read this right here, G-Con. So if we come right here, it says mainstream scholars. Look, mainstream scholars. Are we in the mainstream? We right now reject the notion that the Egyptians was white or black civilization. Right? Why? It say they maintain that applying modern notion of black and white races to ancient Egypt is anachronistic. So every time we do it is anachronistic. That means you're putting something back in the time that it wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
You're like in the Bible when they mention camels in the book of Genesis, there wasn't no damn camels in 1700 BCE in that area. It's anachronistic. That's how we know they wild with the Bible. Just
okay. So what I'm saying is,
hold on, let me finish. Watch this. In addition, scholars reject the notion implicit in the notion of a black or white Egyptian hypothesis. What was Diop's hypothesis? He had the black hypothesis. So they explicitly reject that notion, bro. That ancient Egypt was racially homogenous. That's what Diop said, though. Instead, watch this. Here go the victory for those who studied in African studies. Instead, skin color varied between the peoples of Lower Egypt, and Upper Egypt. In Lower Egypt, right? There's those areas closer to the Sinai Peninsula, the Mediterranean. They're going to be lighter. Not light skin, but lighter, right? Upper Egypt and Nubia. So skin color varied between people of Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt, and Nubia, who in various eras rose to power in ancient Egypt. So I ain't figured out why, right? We mad at the ruling on the field. The ruling on the field is that they African.
That's what I'm about to say.
So I don't understand at this point we winning. Why we need to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, the only reason I would say is
what's the point? I don't get it, yo.
But what I'm saying is they when they say they're not black or white, right?
Black people or white people, but range in skin color from dark to light. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm not arguing.
Yeah, because the main argument was whether the culture was Asian or African. That's the main argument.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, now it's like Monday quarterbacking, right? Because these scholars,
what statement?
These scholars that was at this this conference, right? They all agree that they were not black or white, right?
Yeah.
A majority of them all agree, beside Diop and Obanga and a few other folks. But majority rules, right? So now if those ancient Egyptians were here in modern day time, they would be in the back seat with Rosa Parks and all those guys in the 60s.
Because of the color of their skin. Because of the color of their skin.
Yeah,
right, but you ain't gonna see Mexican in the back. Mexicans.
Yes, they would have.
Yeah, they would have.
In the 60s?
Mm-hmm.
They were not in the back.
Man, what do you think they? Come on, man. Them
Browns. They would have. You ever heard of the Zoot? You ever heard of the Zoot Suit riots?
You talking about in the 60s, like 66? What you talking about? 1966?
Yeah, they were in the back. A dark skinned Italians would have had to sit in the back of the bus.
I hear you.
Man, they ain't lit no. Yeah,
I'm just talking about in the South. Shoot, you had Italian dudes used to get lynched in New Orleans. And two, at the symposium, they said they shouldn't put a race on no human culture at all. Like nobody shouldn't put a black, white, yellow on anybody.
Okay, all right. So they don't put a race on the Greeks or the Romans.
No, you study from the culture of what it is. They didn't have no races. You look at what Greek is not even really a homogeneous thing. They had different cultures. You had different tribes in Greek that spoke a common dialect.
So I'm not quite sure. So
what
point you think you're trying to make?
Just like Alexander spoke Macedonian. He didn't speak Ionian. He didn't speak Spartan. He was a Macedonian.
Right. Yeah, he was a Macedonian. Yep. All right.
So what was you actually hearing though? Well, I tell you what, you didn't understand the daggone. So I think the thing that got you was not knowing what he was actually putting forth at the conference. That'll kill you first right off the rip.
but hold on, Gullah and like you say, and you agree with me that it was an African, not because it was on the continent, but it also followed like African principles. Certain, it was different than any Mediterranean that culture per se. It was
But
more
the closer,
because since they like uses sub-Saharan, it was more closer to sub-Saharan culture
But
than
but
Mediterranean culture.
Lacan, you got to
Yeah,
recognize too, it was African culture that even made Mediterranean culture what it is in the first
yeah,
place.
you gotta know that.
Afro-Asiatic culture was the first original Mediterranean culture. You know what I'm saying?
oh
Of course,
Yeah,
even Egyptians, they was mixed. They had mixed proportion, mixed traits. Like some of them had tropical limb proportion. You know what I'm saying? Some of them had more Mediterranean environment adapted. You know what I'm saying? Traits too. You know what I'm saying? They was in those moderate regions. So they had
well,
a mixture.
when I'm talking about
Shoot, even
principle,
even the kingship itself was a Nilotic tradition based on divinity mixed with an Afro-Asiatic tradition. You know what I'm saying? With the clanship, that's why they had so many different deities. Because Afro-Asiatic people were more clannish, and they mixed with the Nilo-Saharan divinity, sacral kingship shit. You know what I'm saying?
so G-Con, right here, historical hypothesis. It says since the second half of the 20th century, topological hierarchical models of race have increasingly been rejected by scientists, and most scholars have held that applying modern notion of race to ancient Egypt is anachronistic. It says the current position of modern scholarship is that the Egyptian civilization was an indigenous Nile Valley. Yeah, I heard people, I had to argue with niggas that they wasn't called Nile Valley. Dr. Benham made it. I swear I had to go through all that. We're going to start playing my old videos. I've been holding them back. Start playing them from 3 years ago. Show you I ain't changed my stance.
Jump bomb.
I ain't changed my stance. Watch this. The Egyptian civilization was an indigenous, right? You hear me say it? Nile Valley development. It says at UNESCO Symposium 1974, several participants concluded that the ancient Egyptian population was indigenous to Nile Valley and was made up of people from north to south of the Sahara who differentiated by their color. What more does anybody need? Why would you be mad at me if I'm saying they are indigenous and range in different skin color? Why am I the bad guy? Because I just don't believe in God. That has to be it. Because the words that are coming out of my mouth is saying they are indigenous to the Nile Valley, but they're raised in skin color. Like now you want the cookie color. You want everybody, you want all Egyptians to be jet black. I'm sorry. I apologize, but that's not happening. There's a set of there's a skill set that got to be had here. You got to understand human population. You got to understand that humans wasn't doing this. We're gonna go past that line. To go past that line, that's where the lighter people are. Or we ain't gonna go past that line. That's where the darker people are. That's not how it actually works. People migrate a little bit at a time. You thinking, honey, let's get in the car and take a 100-mile drive. That's not what's happening, right? And so darker skinned people migrate in the northern direction. Lighter skinned people migrate in the southern direction. And all light-skinned people ain't looking all light-skinned, because anybody that got kids, and I'm saying having kids by the same woman, both your kids don't come out the same color all the time. Well, I got twins, but they twins. But, my daughter, I got 2 light-skinned twins. I got my daughter, my complexion, and my son is his mother complexion. What are we doing here? We just want to be hating. I ain't never said no more. I ain't never said no more than that. Gullah made the point. We read matter of fact, we read the article. So if I ask you, what is Mediterranean culture? You're supposed to know if you know your timeline, that who in the hell is in the Mediterranean? No goddamn body. Ain't no Greeks yet. Ain't no damn Romans yet. You know what I'm saying? That's participating yet. You got people from Western Asia and people in the Nile Valley. So Mediterranean culture, and we can source it up, is Nile Valley and people from Western Asia. Now, what happens in the Mediterranean? They trade. You can see it in Egypt, and you can see it in Mesopotamia. In Mesopotamia, they didn't actually they don't glorify a lot of African goods, but the Nile Valley, they like to put some of it on display. So, Mediterranean culture, right, is Nile Valley and Western Asia culture coming together to form the Mediterranean. This is what we got to know. Simple as that. Anything outside of that, they are an indigenous Nile Valley culture. I don't say they're Mediterranean nothing, because I understand the trick people try to play when they try to play that. They the Mediterranean culture. Yeah, they traded in the Do you mean they're Mediterranean culture because they traded in the Mediterranean? Yes. Oh, then I agree. Now, what you saying they're not a Mediterranean people? They are Nile Valley indigenous African people that made the Mediterranean. Topography, the glyphs, right? It's salt water. You ain't drinking that. That wasn't it was valuable for trade, but it wasn't valuable for their daily lives. Obviously, right? It's not there. When you start looking at the glyphs, right? They deify the river, the Hapi, right? They deify different topography, the land, certain things, right? It just seems to be that the Mediterranean was a waterway, right? And they traded in that. But as far as when you look at the culture itself, right? You're being funny if you call them a Mediterranean culture. That's you doing a lot. And if you say they're Mediterranean culture, explain what you mean. If you don't mean that they're Mediterranean culture because they started the Mediterranean and they traded in the Mediterranean, you got to say that. And I told people that, I say, yo, when you say they're Mediterranean culture, tell people why. See? And they don't do it. And they play and they mix it in between. They do all this, they do all that. Now, the closer to the Mediterranean, right, the better chance you standing running into people from Western Asia. Would that not make sense? So people aren't knowing that they in the Mediterranean, nor do they even remotely know that they're in the Sinai Peninsula. The Sinai Peninsula, all that shit run right to Israel. So you got people coming from that area prior to anything called Israel. Nomadic tribal people always migrating down into the Delta, right? And you can call them Egyptians too, because they live there, right? And they live the culture. See? I don't understand why people don't get that. Humans aren't not mixing. They mixing. They're not saying you from Western Asia. Nope. They're not saying that because they don't even know they from Western Asia. All they know is people. So listen, the record is clear. And I ain't changed my stance. So I don't know, G-Con. To me, in my mind, in my head, I've said the same damn thing. I ain't changed. What's up, Cedric? He chilling.
Peace, God killer. Peace to the family. You know, the subject of Egypt, I like to stay quiet because the arguments are flawed and they make no sense. I understood this about 2 years ago, and the argument is over. But what I heard is that we're bad because we're not fighting for Black Egypt anymore. I heard that.
Yeah, it was great.
No, folks, we keep saying it. There's no ideology when we're dealing with information. Put your ideology aside. There was never a Black Egypt. That was pseudo-race science on both ends of the spectrum. That was the environment that people were working in, a pseudo-scientific environment where people were trying to determine race. Today, we know better. Why are we still doing this? It's painful to watch my brothers go down roads which are going to force me to have to beat you up. And I'm a rookie in the subject.
Yeah,
So
they're
my
definitely.
so my question is, are the Khoi black people?
No, they koi
Okay.
koi. They
Yeah,
koi
Khoi.
koi.
Sand people. Yeah.
Yeah, they saying they koi koi. They wasn't black people until some white people said they was black people.
But they, yo, hey, matter of fact,
Hey
there's a
yo,
white person on YouTube saying that the Khoi people are actually white people. He say
why we gotta
he's
always do
yeah.
it? We gotta
All right,
always
so we
do it.
agree. The Khoi is non-black, right?
No, and people in West Africa not black people. They
Okay.
whatever tribe, whoever the hell they said they was prior to white people coming in with that.
I mean,
Why
are they
can't people
Negro?
have their
Hold on.
own?
Are they Negro?
No, they're not
Okay,
Negro.
so we
They
agree.
whoever
All
they
right.
say they are.
Okay, so we agree.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah,
why
so
wouldn't
when
they
you
be there?
say,
Why they gotta fit into? Listen,
because we were trained like that, huh?
I know, and we so
Yeah.
trained like that. Did you fight me when I say yo they the such and such? That's their indigenous name. Oh no, yo they black people. Damn. Do you want to now? If you ask me now, ask me what their color range is. Dark skin, dark brown, light brown. That's their color range. They whatever the name they say they are. You the Khoi sign. You Khoi sign. When did the Khoi sign become Negroes? When? There's a clear line when they became Negroes, but for 350,000 years they wasn't Negroes.
Okay,
They wasn't none of that. They was the Khoi sign, whatever name they was, whatever name they was calling themselves, that's who they was, and that's the agency. So when, for scientific purposes, we say they on the continent of Africa. It's for scientific purposes now, but you can't go there and tell them they African. You gotta say, what's your name for your people? They're gonna tell you.
Okay, so yeah, so there's
So
no
why
such
am I
thing.
the bad guy for
No, you ain't
calling
the bad
people what
guy.
they say they are? Oh, think about G-Con. Think about this. I've actually been the bad guy for calling people what they name themselves. What the hell is going on? What?
You're the bad guy, Unc, because you don't stand on
Is
ideology.
going on, Cedric?
You
I'm
have
the
no
bad guy
ideology.
because I called the people what they say their name was prior to colonization, and I'm the bad guy, atheist guy. I don't like black people.
Yeah,
What
we
the
don't like
hell
black
is
people.
going on?
We
No,
don't
but
like
here's the
black
thing.
people. We're atheists. We don't defend Black Egypt. We're sellouts. We don't. I've heard it all. We do not stand on any ideology. Scientifically trained minds follow the information. And when it came to the word black, I used it in a particular context and I had to let it go because the context was pseudo. So I just simply let it go. We don't use those terms when we're dealing with science. We look at phenotypes and you look from dark to light skin. But what's black? If I take a patch of skin from an average African American and I take a patch of skin from an southeast Indian, you would not be able to tell the difference. They'll be both quote unquote dark pigmentation. Which one is black? Which one would be black? You're looking at two pieces of skin from two distinct continents, two distinct people. The both skin tones are exactly the same. Which one is black?
Phenotypes. We're looking at phenotypes.
The argument is scientifically flawed. You see, I heard Neanderthal James. I heard Neanderthal James say the Ethiopians, because some of them are rather light and have a coolie hair, they are not real Africans. So by that definition, peppercorn hair, blackety black, and I don't know what else phenotype makes you an original black African. It makes no sense. There was never one homogeneous phenotype. Two dark-skinned people from African descent will have 3 kids, and each would have a specific phenotype. Each would have a difference in skin tone. They might have differences in hair texture. Does that make them one more African than the next? Like when you slow the conversation down and you actually think about it, that's why race is but purely a social construct. I keep saying outside of the US, black means different things. In the Caribbean, for example, black means culture. Someone would call a black American not black because he doesn't exhibit the same culture that we do. And our culture is considered black. You see how subjective that is? So the term is useless.
Hey, Uncle said the term is useless in science, and
Yes.
from what the source said, it sounded exactly like what we all been saying, and even what Unc been saying. But Unc ain't gotta say the word black. He can cover it with that Nile Valley. So I feel like socially speaking, we can say that they was black, or we can say that was black. But scientifically speaking, I understand you and Unc 1,000,000%.
Yeah, as soon as you
Agree
say it,
with
the
you.
person's gonna say, no, they white. Because look at they light skin. They're gonna say they
Yeah.
white.
There you get that.
Now you
There
back
you
in
get
that
that.
crazy shit. Now we in the crazy.
And those are the invaders. Those aren't original Africans because they're too light skinned to be original African. So I would call them black because they're African. They're from the continent, no matter the skin tone. No. Those aren't black. No. They must be hybrids. No, those are the invaders. Those the people that moved in and pushed the African out. These are the arguments you get when you hold on to the word black. Because now I gonna see a lighter skinned Egyptian and say, well, he's a black man too. No. He's admixed. He got too much Arab in him because he's not blue. Like, makes no sense. So Ank's two boys, they ain't black. My youngest, she isn't black because she's not pitch black and her skin is relatively light. So she wouldn't classify as black. She would be an admix. She got some Arab in her. Like these arguments, yeah, they're flawed.
I wouldn't even call the Bantu person or Yoruba person black. But they are who they are. They are whoever they call themselves.
Okay.
That word becomes so ambiguous when we're looking at people from the continent because I'm going, okay, y'all, and I keep saying it. So is Nipsey Hussle black?
Well, wouldn't his mom black, right?
No, they from
Yeah,
Eritrea, I
they're
believe.
black.
They from
He's from
Eritrea.
Eritrea. He's from
His
Africa.
mother.
His mother from New Orleans. His mother from New
His
Orleans.
mother's a black American.
Hey, because we doing socially. We not speaking scientifically. We doing socially. Nipsey Hussle black.
Yeah,
black.
You see, he black.
Yeah, so
but when we move him on to the continent and we have the chemistry, he's not black.
Say that again, Cedric.
When we move Nipsey Hussle now to the continent and we have the same discussion, is he black? In the blackology in Egypt, no, he's not black though. He's admixed. He's a product of the invader. Like, it makes no sense.
How's that so?
I think they call him a Ukrainian. I think they call him a Ukrainian.
A Somalian wouldn't even call himself black. They say, yeah, they just Somali. They wouldn't even
a Ukrainian. You know what I'm saying?
No, when it comes to this country, we fit in.
Don't you get a chance to say who you are, yo? Is that possible?
No, I can't say I'm my dingo.
Huh?
It don't say that on the census. They don't say, "Are you my dingo crew?"
What it say?
It don't say shit like that. It say, "Are you black, African?"
Right, nigga.
African American. No, I ain't no African American. I'm not an African American, and I'm not black. I'm a Mandingo. Where my Mandingo?
Where's my you get my point? No, you not. You black. Put on your hold on.
Nigga,
open
I'm
your camera real
Mandingo,
quick.
nigga.
No, nigga, open
my
your
Creoles. We're mixed.
Watch this. Come on, G. Come on, G. Lacan. Come on, real quick. Open up your camera. Watch this, real quick, real fast. Open it up.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
I said, open up your. Put on your camera real quick.
We're a bunch of Creoles.
Look. You're black, nigga. Now we don't want to hear you talk about none of that mandingo. Now you the bad guy because you not black. See, you anti-black. See, you don't want to be black. You don't want to be African. You want to be Mandinka. See, that's how they did me. This shit is retarded, yo. Come on, man.
We some Niger Congo Creoles, basically.
Oh man. Boy, I'm trying to tell you, it's very, very interesting here, man. But I'm gonna show this source real quick, though, right? Definitely gonna hit this one. Where we at? Okay, where we at? Let me see. In this source right here, it talks about in antiquity, the regions encompassed the Mediterranean Sea were extremely fertile, allowing for rapid prosperity. They say this wealth combined with the easy communication between the banks contributed to the rich, successful transmission of knowledge, especially during the first millennium BC, which turned the Great Sea, the core of ancient history. Later, the Mediterranean civilization was acknowledged as the fundamental political, cultural, artistic, and religious substratum for the construction of the so-called Western world. Yet, it was in Egypt and Mesopotamia during the 4th and 3rd millennium BC that many of these foundations were first set. The ancient Mediterranean world was not just influenced by its African and Asian neighbors, but was in fact defined by the profound communication at all levels between these different regions. In the 21st century, however, many European countries still insist in portraying themselves as direct heirs of the combined Greco-Roman or Judeo-Christian tradition, disregarding their African and Asian roots. As a result of this flawed self-perception, a gap between Europe, Africa, and Asia came to be, bearing deep consequences to the present. With the contribution, we aim to reclaim the importance of these other legacies to the construction of the cradle of civilization. So the title of the paper is The Mediterranean, Asian, and African Roots of the Cradle of Civilization. All right, this was brought forth by brother Brendan, Pseudo Killer Official. All right, so we want to make sure that we got everything on par, and we write in our approach. Here's the article, man. I'll get this to you. It's serious. All right, so we now know what the damn Mediterranean is. It's African, right, and Western Asian. It's right here. All right, this is in the abstract. So they're gonna go and bring you the information here to actually verify, and put it all together. And it also talks about the quote unquote Nilotic people in here too. Let me see real fast here. Let me see if I can find it. And then no, this is what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm gonna find a lot of people in this article to talk about how they bought transmitted science. Rasul L, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Yo, what's going on?
What's up? What's on your mind, brother?
Well, y'all on a subject I wanted to been trying to talk about anyway. I kind of brought up on Smash's stream before, but
okay, go ahead.
We identifying as black, and I'm cool with it. I know I used to be a Moor and everything, but
yeah, I'm cool.
Oh,
that's ain't it? Y'all kind of was right at that part,
I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, man. But I was like you. I joined the cult, man. I joined the cult, and I realized it later on.
Yeah,
but let me tell you how I kind of got out of it.
All right,
my oral tradition. My father was that my father's father, my grandfather, my paternal grandfather's grandfather, came over from Ethiopia.
Okay.
So I would go to Moors like, yo, I might not be Moorish. I know what would I be, because paternally, I would be like Ethiopian or something like that, right? So like, no, you're still a Moor. No, everybody's they believe everybody's a Moor. You dark skin, you're a Moor. I was like, yo, that don't make sense, man. So I was arguing with them about that, and I said, y'all crazy, man. That was the first thing. We get on the religion later, but anyway, so I end up DNA ended up finding out I'm Guinea-Bissau. You know what I'm saying? So that that oral tradition was wrong. But even they not Moorish. But anyway, we identify as black, right? Cool. So you just asked, I think it was Gullah. I think he answered. You said, "What are the Khoi? Would they be considered black?" And the answer is no. They Khoi, right? It don't matter if it's Mandinka, Fulani, whatever. They not black. They what they are. They whatever tribe and whatever nationality they are. So we are a mixture of different West Africans, right? We're a new type of people basically because we so mixed. So to me, still black isn't really a true identity. We Americans, right? But it's almost like we got to start our own a naming of our own tribe of who we are, right? Because we are mixed. We just need to come up with our own names. Black is still generic. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We talk about everything, but we Americans, plain and simple. That's what we are. We Americans. So if you want to go into what kind of American, you go into the, what type of tribe we are. We need to come up with our tribe. You know what I'm saying? Almost. And that's going to be a hard thing to pull off because, people's religious ideology is going to come to play. The Israelites not going to want to be in whatever tribe you're saying you are. The Moors not going to want to be in whatever tribe you're saying. You know what I'm saying? But that's because they pseudo as hell. You know what I'm saying? But, when it comes, to me, that was my idea. That's why I said, I'm listening to you, Gully. You stop.
That's why I said we're a bunch of West Sudanic or Niger Congo Creoles. You know what I'm saying? We're from our ancestors come from Niger Congo culture, and we still got a lot of those cultural traits within our African American culture. And then we creolized, you know what I'm saying, with a mixture of colonization.
So I guess like with me and everybody else, people want to have, they want to have either their roots in Africa or they want their own roots. So they don't want to identify as Creole because that's some European word and all that other stuff. You see what I'm saying?
I don't, man. Look, oh shit, man. It ain't. Yeah. I thought the victory was in the African part.
You say it again?
I always felt like the victory was in the African part because I can remember like 10 years ago, you couldn't even find a paper. They wasn't even, you know what I mean? You could go to the Cairo Symposium, you could read that, you would see it, right? But in generally speaking, it's in science, it just take a long time for it to be like it need to be. And so now what we at is very clear. But for the elders, when they seen lighter skinned people in Egypt, they attributed that to invasion. That was a mistake, right? They was all in the Diops thing. But now that the genome has been mapped out, that the theory of why your skin is that color, now we can put those together and we realize that, man, you got light brown people in North Africa before anybody invaded. So that's a different mindset now. Remember, whenever they used to play the dark continent, they almost fed into the colonialism. Colonialism says that from this part to this part, these are dark people, these are light people, that's it, right? And we fed into it. We felt like to be African, you gotta have the big lips and the peppercorn hair. If you got straight hair, then you mixed. When in reality, having that straight curly hair don't mean you mixed at all. But we thought that. And they fed that into our brain. And so we actually promote colonialism, over ourselves to the point where now when they say that we African and indigenous and range of the skin color, it's Northeast African civilization, then we saying they're trying to trick us. Right? Or they trying to trick us like they saying we 99% the same. You hear the arguments. They tricking us. Yeah.
They scamming.
They scamming us. So it's what's up, Chef?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
What's up with you?
Ain't nothing. Wiki is definitely, your first line of defense for these fast moving pace conversations that we be having. these conversations be fast paced and everybody be moving fast. So you need a source that's just as fast as these guys be moving, right? They be jumping around in the conversation. They jump to this, throw you off. So Wiki is fast enough to catch them. You know what I'm saying?
Chef, that's how I used to get everybody back in the day. Everybody, I was for everybody time with the wiki. They weren't fucking with the wiki at first. I used to slide them. I used to use them sources.
Yes, that's right. So Wiki, right, is fast enough to catch him. So I got a question, because when we use that they was how do I want to say it? When we say that Diop was wrong, when we say that Diop was wrong because there's no such thing as black or
No, I didn't
Negro.
say that. I say Negroid. That's how you use the outdated term.
Right, and black.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Y'all was just saying ain't nobody black, right?
Yeah, that's real.
Trying to use a
Skin
race.
don't even get black. Skin get brown.
Yeah, so y'all was saying I was just listening to the show. Right? Nobody black. You right?
Go ahead.
And nobody Negroid. Right?
Right. That's what we meant.
No, nobody.
All right.
You got
I'm
student.
standing all the way with that to the door.
All right, cool. I'm with y'all, right? So
you ain't lying. We Nilo-Saharan people.
So
trying to set something.
If
I see him coming a mile away. That's Chef. Remember, he throw his curve. I see the curve leaving his hand. But go ahead, throw it. See
so,
it.
the question
it ain't got
is the right. So the question would be: is Diop only wrong in the use of his terminology? Right? Is there some way we can pull his argument and switch the terminology that he's using, and then he fall back in line with what basically we're saying? Because it sounds like it's only the terminology that is wrong. If he's just using outdated terminology, is there some way for him to pull it back?
They did it for him.
Go ahead.
They did it for him. They said they was indigenous Africans. You got us on that part. The culture and all, because he argued he used different things. He talked about the culture, talked about a lot of things. Yep. So here we go. So we not gonna play the race game. What we will say is that they are indigenous. Because remember, you had the invading race theory at that time. All right. So we're gonna get that out the way. We hear what you're saying, but you trying to make them homogenous one, and you trying to make them Negroid, and we trying to get away from those types of classifications because it spawns a lot of different things and it's wild, and then you can't tell. It's hard, right? Even in the anthropological things, they talked about how they classify some as Negroids, they classify some as Indo-European, then they classify some as a Cro-Magnon man because it wasn't either or, and it was just, it was just wow. You could see it in different. It was just wow. And so they were like, no, we're going to do it for you. We're not going to use that. What we're going to do is we will agree that they are indigenous because it's Diop's. That was part of Diop's thing too. Like, this is African civilization here, right? And so, yeah, I think they did it for them because when you're dealing with science and trying to define culture, you said that he used the terminology. It's in the terminology, though. The devil's in the details, yo. Like, you can't say this. That's gonna make you wrong. If you get off of that, then now you're more closer to what it is. So yeah. So I'm not switching the terminology for him. You can switch it for him.
No, because I see. I'm saying just staying at the terminology, right? Saying there's nobody is black, and since that terminology is outdated, I feel like the ones who is still sticking by that and making that argument, they can double back and say that he's only wrong in terminology, but far as wise the data that he brought forth, his argument is still sound. And for me, I'm saying that his terminology and his data is wrong. So he's not just wrong.
They attacked his methodology.
Exactly. You dig what I'm saying?
And that's what they really did, though. we skip that because we don't understand methodology, right? But that's what they really said. That's like damn near cussing out. That's a the general public not gonna catch it. But you tell a scientist, yo, your methodology is flawed, yo. Like what? Because that's how you reach, that's how you get you where you're going, is through your method. That's like the road to get you where you're going. And you say, yo, your road has got holes in it, yo. So that's, you know what I mean? That's a big deal to say your methodology was flawed. But even with that, yeah, anytime you bring a Bible and use the scriptures, you know, you the book of Genesis, yo, you hand whatever he was doing, you know, that's a little, you know, but all in all, man, the man was he was a great physicist, man. He was definitely out of his field of study, but for what he had, I think for me, I thought he did a decent job. I think he did.
Yeah, that's on our level, though. On our level, we would say that.
Yeah,
but that's not what the field said.
Phil
the field said it was crazy.
Thought he was crazy, but he got him. This look. This the fun part, right? This the fun part of the whole article right here. This the fun part. Look, this is my favorite part right here. This is definitely my favorite part right here. Watch this. This is what they end up saying.
They said his argument brought up other proposals too, other questions, other proposals that brought up different scenarios. It sparked the other, you know what I'm saying, other scholars to propose other scenarios as well. Even though he was wrong, he brought up other ideas.
Yeah, he kind of spoke. Yeah, he definitely spurred some thought. Yeah, he definitely. Right here, he talk about how. Let me see. You see, the Black Egyptian hypothesis includes a particular focus on the link between sub-Saharan cultures and the question and the question of race of specific notable individuals in dynastic times. All right. Man, where is the guy? He makes a profound statement. He said Diop's wrestled Egypt from Europe. He actually did it. That's what he actually did. He kind of put him, he made him start looking at it from, he kind of gave him a launching pad, right? Where they could get, you know, because at this point, man, they was all in Mesopotamia. You'd have heard some people amongst us promoting that shit. Then Raid and Rage Theory. They was definitely trying to promote that.
So acknowledging, you know, cultural connections. What?
Oh, here it goes right here, yo. It said, however, she did state that the contributors did come to a general consensus that the Egyptians could not have been white in the same way that Europeans were, and dissemination of Diop's ideas contributed. This is what you was wanting to say, Chef. Contributed to a wider recognition that the ancient Egyptians was an African civilization, although his methods were not considered entirely permissible by most of the general history of Africa historians.
You see how she said that though?
Yeah.
She said they couldn't have been white, right?
Mm-hmm.
By modern European standards, right? So right there saying, even if you wanted to consider them white, right? They wasn't white like we are saying white today. You dig what I'm saying? So that narrow definition of white, no, they don't, that we use today, they don't fit. If you wanted to use that, you dig what I'm saying? They not those people. They didn't look like those people. You feel me? These modern Europeans that's in goddamn England today, they don't fit that. So even from the eyeball test, you dig what I'm saying? That's an observation that she's that was a good point that she made.
Yeah, it's like would you call a Puerto Rican or a Dominican white? That's all mixed up and shit.
Oh yeah, Puerto Rican.
Yeah, some Puerto Ricans you would call white though.
Yeah, some of them would, but I still wouldn't call them that. still when he would go there, I just say motherfucker got a little bit more Spaniard in him. You know what I'm saying? Whatever other European other people.
Hey, what exactly is meant when we saying when the word terms white and black is used? Like why do those two terms muck everything all up? You know what I'm saying?
Because we
These
want
are
them
the
to.
only two terms that muck everything all up. So what does it actually mean? You know what I'm saying? Like Chef just said that the sister, the woman or whatever said in modern terms we couldn't. So is she saying that in ancient terms of white they could apply to them? Like why does white mess everything all up? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. She's definitely
because Europeans ain't even all the
white
same.
people. Never was that.
Europeans ain't no uniform group like that anyway. They're different people that came together that became the people of Europe. Europeans ain't all the same. Like people like these are like no, they not. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you dig into like Eastern Europe, Bosnia, all the people don't look at themselves the same way as people.
But we make it harder than what it is, right? And we're I mean, this is painful, man. This is painful how we know what we consider black. We know what we consider black in modern times. And we know what we consider white. And they keep saying that the Egyptians was neither black nor white. And we keep trying to force them into either one of these categories, even though they're wrong in terminology. But they're saying that concept of black and white, what you think is Negroid and what you think is European white, right? They was neither one of those. And we're giving people a way out. We're giving them a way out.
But even
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they're saying for me, the way I see it is she's saying trying to classify them as white or black is wrong. That's what I'm thinking they saying. I'm not saying they need it because that don't make sense. Now you're not making no sense now.
No, if you look at the population, if you go to Egypt right now, right? And you look at the population of Egypt, you're not going to say that they look like the people in Western Central Africa, who are in general.
Why would they have to look like they do
right,
look
but
like
that
Northeast Africans, like Ethiopians,
and
like
they don't look like
Eritreans.
Ethiopians either.
Yeah.
Some of them do though.
They don't look like Ethiopians either.
Some of them do though. Some of them do though, Chef. Some of them do.
Now
they don't even make no sense right there.
If you look at them people, if you look at them people in Luxor or something, some of them people do look like their cousins.
Yeah, like are you?
If you look at Emperor Haile Selassie, that nigga could blend in with some Egyptians.
Yeah, Haile Selassie.
Look at that nigga.
Hold on. How about what was the last what was his name? You know what I'm talking about, Chef. The president of Egypt, yo. What's his name? Hold on. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Who?
Man, I got you. Hold on. Wait.
I don't know what in your Muslim mind make you think black people wasn't in Egypt, but you got to slow down, bro.
See?
Gully even gave you pushback. You sound crazy.
Oh, y'all get dead. Oh man, y'all went dead.
See, he went right back to black. He went right back to black.
I'm not speaking scientifically.
I'm not either.
I'm doing lookership.
Exactly.
What you mean exactly?
So now
how you gonna say they wasn't white or black?
So now West Central African type was in Egypt.
You think the black niggas just stayed in one spot?
Lord,
you gotta slow down.
See?
You gotta
my
slow
point
down.
is my point is
go. Here we go. We're gonna share this. Who is this? Here we go. This is fun. Here you go. I'm gonna break the monotony. Y'all see this person, right?
Sadat.
Huh?
Sadat.
Right.
Yeah,
that nigga's like an African American.
He had a Sudanese mother though.
I'm just saying, hold on. Wait. Whoa. You saying it though, right?
Yeah, but he was at that time. Egypt and Sudan was one country.
We don't want to play the games. We want to do this.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna play. We're not gonna act. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do this.
But some of them people, some of them
Hold on.
Sudanians been
His
mixing in
father,
their population for a long
his
time.
father, Anwar Muhammad Al Sadat, was an Upper Egyptian, and his mother, Sid Albrin, was born to an Egyptian mother and Sudanese father. What are we saying here? This is exactly how motherfuckers can look back and forth. Right here, his father's an upper Egyptian, and his mother was born to an Egyptian mother and a Sudanese father. Once again, let's slow it down. His father was an upper Egyptian, and his mother, Sid Al Bidrim, was born an Egyptian mother, right, and a Sudanese father. So all this is in the game, though. And then you see as the early look, man. I mean, come on, yo. You don't think that like an Egyptian, chef?
And his Sudanese father could have been one of them Egypt.
You don't agree to that right there, chef? What's wrong with that?
I can't hear y'all.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So what the hell like an Egyptian to you?
So how do Egyptians supposed to look?
Like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then we can show some other Egyptians. Do they look like North Africans? I mean, do they look like West Africans? No.
No, that's my
Who's
point.
saying that?
Stay right there. Now tell your man that.
I don't gotta tell him that.
Hold up. Gullah. Let's do the social. We ain't speaking science. Gullah. When you sat on my couch and I asked you, was black motherfuckers in Egypt? You said yeah, but they wouldn't.
Some of them. They was a minority. There was a minority in it. They had their own little region. Like
slow down, Shell. Slow down.
You had Kadofian. You had some Kadofian people that came into there. You had some Nilo-Saharan people that came into there. They mixed in.
Definitely had that. The kind that you saying would have looked more like what you thinking, chef. I don't mind. It
would have been like Puerto Rico.
I love blackness. I don't think blackness look one way. I don't know. I mean, it's a range for me. For me, I'm, what you want me to do, because I ain't looking darker than none of y'all niggas. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm black and I'm proud all the way, and I ain't dark skinned. So
African ain't good enough for us. I'm telling you,
African is good enough for me.
Hey Chef, I work with a Berber dude, and he kind of favored you except the hair and the other features he got, but some other features he got, like he kind of.
I ain't saying nothing about no ad mention. I ain't mentioning.
He look like Chef a little
bit. So look, the brother Super Wavy came in and saying about the black people in Africa, in Egypt. Egypt. So I think when Chef asked about when Chef said that they don't look West African, I guess I think I can put it like this. So I've been to Ethiopia and I've been to Central African Republic, right?
Okay.
When I was in Addis Ababa, they don't look West African like the kinky hair type of dark skinned person. I ain't saying that. I didn't even say African. I mean say black. They don't have that kinky hair. They just don't look like a West African type of. We look like West African. So we mostly came from West Africa. Somalians and Ethiopians kind of like, they almost look like Indians. You know what I'm saying? When I see them, I can tell them right off the bat. And that's what you can tell about it. That's what you can tell about the East African people from like Somalia, Sudan, some Ethiopia, and probably like the lower part of Egypt or whatnot. They don't look like us. We look like West Africans. They look like East Asians almost. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that that's them, but I'm just saying to me, if I'm doing lookership, they look like, you know what I'm saying? They look mixed almost. They dark skin, but they have like long straight hair and their nose is different, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? They look distinct from us.
I dated one for 3 years.
One specific look. We got to keep that in mind. It wasn't one specific look.
Right, Africa is diverse. So when you say they black people in Egypt, they don't look black. That's what we're saying. That they don't look how we look.
No,
they don't look how we look. They look a little different. They look like, if you ever. I was in high school with a guy. He was dark skinned. He had this long, straight type hair, and I was like, "Damn, he looked, different." He was dark skinned. He was definitely mixed, but he didn't look how we look.
I'm gonna draw the line in the sand. I'm gonna draw the line in the sand. Egypt, it was some dark ass niggas in Egypt. I'm gonna draw the line in the sand.
Dark, I think dark would be a proper term. You could definitely say they was dark. They was heavily melanated. They was heavily melanated.
Hell yeah, especially in Upper Egypt, but don't move towards the Mediterranean.
Bro, look how dark skinned the dude was who on Captain Phillips. He was Somalian, but he had other features that made him look distinct and different. He had super curly wavy hair. He had like aquiline features. He was super dark. You know the dude from Captain Phillips that took over the boat. Right. Yeah, but the basis that the basal ancestors of Egyptians would have been like people that look like that, and they mixed with ancient North Africans, and then other people coming in over time from Western Asia, so with the more derived traits would have mixed in with that base population. That's what you get what you got today.
I don't know, man. Well,
There you have
I'm
it.
not fighting for none of that.
There you have it. So that be my whole thing is the moment we really try to narrow it down, somebody is gonna always drag it back. The way that we had this conversation, somebody gonna always drag it back. We leaving the door open for the black and us.
Chef, you came on this damn panel saying that they wasn't black or white. You know how you microwaving shit. You came. Yeah. What is you talking about leaving the back door open? I said it was some nappy head and some dark skinned people there. If you gonna tell me that all the dark skinned motherfuckers stayed in one spot, then say that. If you gonna leave out invasion, your uncle the Arab Muslim invasion, if you gonna leave that out, then say that. But don't make it seem like Egyptian all look like one thing.
They ain't look like Western Central Africans. How about that? Now they could be light and dark and everything. They ain't look like you.
No, it was only one minority of West African people, which is the Kadofian people. They always in like leaking in and out.
How about the Nile people, man? Let's pull that up.
Nile people too, but they got their own look too. But you do got
Nile. Here you go. Let's put the component.
You do got Nilo-Sahareans that
they had their own culture and civilization,
like the sun god. But they overlap. They overlap with groups and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
man. You had not a lot of people in there though. Am I wrong? Am I making this up? What am I doing?
Yeah, I got a homeboy on Facebook. He took his DNA test. He like 14% in the life.
Hey, I'm gonna say this again. Was it Nilotic people in Egypt? I'm gonna ask y'all one more time.
Yes, sir.
I get you.
Yeah,
Chef, was Nilotic people living in the Middle Nile? Yes or no?
Y'all gonna make them the Egyptians now. Like
it was.
Some of them became Egyptians. Some of them became Egyptians. When you say they became Egyptians, you agreeing with Diop, and Diop was a homogeneous nigga. You making them homogeneous.
No, I'm not making them homogeneous. I'm not gonna sit there and say that the Nilotic people are the core group.
They wasn't a core group.
Like you have a lot of different components.
No, they wasn't a core group. The Afroasiatic niggas was the core group.
So just because it be slithers of groups that help the gene pool, right? It don't mean that those people was
slivers.
Yeah.
Here you go. Nilotic people. Nilotic peoples are people indigenous to the Nile Valley who speak Nilotic languages, right? They inhabited southern Sudan, Egypt, Ethiopia, Uganda, Kenya, Democratic Republic. I mean, so why we got to do anything more than this? I'm comfortable with this right here.
But that would be a minority.
I don't gotta say, but I'm not doing nothing.
But even though they wasn't the base culture, they still was impactful to Egyptian culture. I mean, the religion shit, like even the king shit, is based on a lot of shit.
You can't look over that.
Yeah, I ain't gonna look over that, but I ain't gonna sit there and say it was a whole population of a lot of people. That's retarded. Yeah. Yeah, I ain't going with that neither though, Chef. I'm just saying
To
I ain't
say
gotta
y'all
fight
look
this.
like one thing, come on, Chef. You got to cut that out.
But I do like Anwar Sadat though, and I think that Hawaus is an Egyptian. The man
No,
say
that's
he's
the
Egyptian.
invader herb.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But I don't believe the whole population. I believe they reside in the north. But he said Hawaii said itself that the Upper Egyptians is dark skinned. Said it. I don't think nobody get away from that. I just think, man, if we read something like I don't gotta go no farther. Like I'm good. Like they just think, man, yeah, you're right.
What is that map showing?
A nice little piece of Nilali people. Yeah. Do you start this down there, the Blue Nile and all that shit? The blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's that red. Yeah. I would say that's they definite, right? So Egypt is up here.
Right. Chef think this the barbershop.
Chef say, what's that red right there? Shut up, Chef.
Showing you clearly where those people reside at.
He will get it. He will make sure. Yeah, but that's the point. They're not staring there staring at each other, yo. And we know which way the river run, and so them people are gonna migrate there back and forth. And we can pull up. I don't even want to pull up the daggone. I did this so much. I'm tired of doing it. I ain't even gonna pull up the map to show you that people migrate from that. There's a time on the Nile where the only people on the Nile are people between the white and the blue Nile. Everybody else is gone. They're not even on that. The people in the lower. Let me see. I'm gonna do this one more time. What time you got, though? I don't want to run into your thing, Gullah. I ain't gonna let you off the hook. You definitely gonna start your show up, Gullah.
But yeah, I'm starting at 11. Maury.
It's past 11.
Past
well,
11.
You're in a different time zone than us.
Oh, is he? We're gonna
It's
crowd him
10:30.
over there. We're gonna get them all over there. What I do want to show, and I think this would be good for this conversation, is this. I think this is good for the conversation. Let me see if I can find it. All right, let me see. I want to find it. Let me see. This I want to find real quick. Want to kind of show y'all this. I'm gonna do this then. Hold on. I'm gonna show you where people at based off the archaeological sites. All right. Let me go to Journal of Science real quick. Tap into the tap in. And there's a time period where the only people left on the damn river is the Nilali people. All right, signed in. Let me go to my. Let me see. 1 second here.
Yeah, I'm on Central Time, so for me it's gonna be 11 Central, 11 o'clock Central.
Nobody's waiting that long. Yo, what's wrong with you? So you saying another hour, yo?
No, it's 10:30
20
right. It's 10:30 right now where I'm at.
All right, because I gotta do some studying to do. What I do want to do is let me pull this up. How can I run right to this real quick? It's very interesting right here. Look at some archaeological reports. All right, hold on. Here you go. Climate control. We've been doing this forever. This the one that everybody should read this. Read this. Think it's important to read this. It'll give you a real good profound. Been doing this for years. 3 years ago, I'm bringing back all the shit I used 3 years ago. I ain't stopped doing it. All right, this a good one. Climate control, the Holocene occupation in the Sahara, motor of African evolution. Got all kind of maps, right? Look at the dates, the time, pastoralism, foraging, cattle, All right, Central Sudan, all the way up Nile Valley, Oasis. All right. And now this map right here is the map. It's the one. Y'all can read all this right here. Okay. So at 8,000 BCE, right? You see Sudan and Egypt. All the people is ranging here, and a few sites up here, still in upper Egypt. Ain't no archaeological sites in the north. Simple. They ain't found them. If they there, right, then we'll find them. If they not, they not. Simple as that. But all the people's down here in the Sudan. So we can safely say at about 8,500 BCE, based off the geographical location, all these people skin color, right, would be darker because it's heavy bombardments of UVA rays. And they're indigenous people and they ain't running around with clothes on like y'all want them to be. All right. Now, from 8,000 to 7,000 BCE, map B, then you see the Sahara's there and they spread out. People aren't as asphyxiated on the Nile. The Nile is a dangerous place to be. If you got to be there and you absolutely got to be there, then you're going to be there. But they rather deal with these lakes and tributaries with fishery, right, than being near this damn raging river. The river is definitely vicious. All right. Okay. Now, C, 7,000 to 5,300 BCE, right? You see people all in these areas, right? We always talk about the people near the Nile when we forget about people in the West, like Nabta Playa. Nabta Playa will be somewhere in here, right? Still, not a lot of sites on the Nile. Nobody's hanging out with the Nile. Okay. Then you come look 5,000, 3,000 to 3,500 BCE. D. This is when you start to get into the development of pharaonic period, where everybody's on the Nile. So now you see peak population is here. These people are still in this area here, and they develop culture. All right, mixing and matching in these areas. So I don't understand what the argument is. Now you up in the Delta, right? Obviously, all right. So these people closer to the Mediterranean, right, are going to be lighter. I don't mean white. Light brown is what I'm talking about. All right. Today they probably lighter. There's a reason for it. They fucking got on clothes. I don't know why everybody act like they was riding around with AC at 5,300 BCE. Why would
Yeah.
people be as darker now? They have clothes represent skin, ladies and gentlemen. And,
Yeah.
and your clothes are literally blocking out UVA rays. That's why they say if you go to the beach, you wear some clothes, right? And some suntan lotion. Not suntan
Yeah.
lotion, but sunblock.
Yeah.
Right?
You
You
had
run
that.
outside
You
without a
had.
shirt, you get sunburnt. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I would say you had that, and along with people who had derived traits who adapted to certain other traits in different regions in Asia too, and they mixed with the groups too with and you had incoming groups too with other traits too that kept that what I'm saying that look kind of consistent.
Hey, so right here, the return of the full desert conditions all over Egypt at about 3,500 BCE coincided with the initial stage of pharaonic civilization in the Nile. Right here. It's the shit that white people made all important. To hell with the rest of Africa. And the whole Africa is Egyptian culture. So that's what I'm gonna be fighting against in that debate, though. It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
and
just
yeah,
picked that. It's crazy.
that's another thing Diop was wrong about too. He said
Yep.
African cultures was like he said some type of like it was kind of like a endemic diffusion type of thing. Like yeah, all the cultures were built off of Egyptian
Yeah.
culture.
Yep. Wilding out. So he made us all Egyptian centric. That's how I saw it, though. All right. But this is y'all need to read this. All right. Very good read. And you can stop arguing with the nuts. Well written. All right. Talking about human settlement. Read. Well put together from the Journal of Nature. All right. Hey, hit them cash apps too. Let me see what we got. Do we get one cash app? Nope, y'all just sitting having fun. Y'all sitting back having fun. I like this prehistory of Egypt and the Sahara. That's from July 1976. Upper Paleolithic occupation. Mid-climate change. Permanent human occupation in Central Tibetan Plateau. Recommended for me to read. Hey, y'all know what it is, man. Gullah is about to go live. Yeah, I'm about to get off here and do some studying. I got to put some studying in, man. Appreciate everybody come through. I see you, L. Appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, bro.
Chef L. Appreciate you, Gullah. Where you gonna find you at tonight?
I'm be on Al Jaheed's podcast, Gullah Jabiri. We're gonna be talking about misinformation in African studies.
Oh, it's full of
especially pertaining the languages, the linguistics. So I'm gonna talk about a little bit of what Minoff got wrong, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about what Diop got wrong for the language.
What somebody say about Neanderthal? Let me see. If Neanderthal had clothes, they surely had what? Clothes. Hell, they had outfits. Y'all funny. Hey man, make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Make sure y'all hit this link for that debate too, man. All right, man. Hit that. All right. It's definitely going down. All right. And that's next month. All right. And it's gonna be a good conversation. Feel like it's gonna be one of my best. Say cool. It's gonna come in with the magic. All right, he gonna Africa you to death, as if we need somebody to tell us about Africa. African spirituality versus science. Is that so? Shikant Diop's true cradle theory, myth of reality. He better say it's a myth. He better not come in there saying it's reality. Welcome to the big leagues, man. Y'all know what it is, man. Going all the way down. September 15th, 7 o'clock, man. That's that soft spot. We going in, man. We're going to figure this out, man. Will he attack the atheism? Will he attack the Africanism? Man, find out, man. Appreciate everybody stopping through, man. Go ahead, drop them donations, man. Put that link in there. Moderators, man. Put that link in there for the people, man. Y'all say it going, man.
All right, OG, I'm gone.
Appreciate you, Super Wavy, man. We're going to talk about that. Man, go ahead and check out Al Jaheed, man, podcast, man. And y'all know what it is, man. We're going to keep it right where it's supposed to be at, man. Shout out to the community of skeptics, man. All day, every day. We are skeptical with what human beings tell us. We taking our time, man. We putting the thing right back where it's supposed to be, man. Shout out to all the people that's diving in here first on Con Calloway. That misinformation, man. They over there preaching that misinformation, man. Selling y'all that black algae, man. Overemphasizing. They all trying to kill us, huh? Keep your head in the game, man. Important. We're on the House of Conscience, man. Black News 102, man. Shout out to Sarnetta, man. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate you having us on the platform, bro. You already know it. taking our time, man. I'm your host, God Killer, Bobby Banger, Uncle Cat. Fighting pseudoisms, one source at a time. Man, y'all clearly understand where the war's been for that, man. Like and subscribe, man. House of Conscious, man. Black News 102, man. Bringing consciousness back into consciousness. Stand on the shoulders of the elders, man. Take y'all time and pay attention and listen. All day, every day, man. Stabs in the criteria for bringing real African history to the table. We ain't putting no cut on it, man. Like and subscribe to the pseudo killers, man. Like and subscribe to the community of skeptics. Y'all know a pseudo died they source, man. Yeah. I'm your host, man. Bobby Banger, man. Hit that Cash App going out the door, man. Real black atheism is on the rise.